Did you bump into the camera?
No, I didn't even get up. When did I get up?
I just feel like it's facing you more than it's facing me.
Well,
I hope it's not fucked up.
When did I go in that general direction?
Did you just do that right now?
Doing what? What did I do?
I could have swore you got up.
To do what? When I sat... I got up? This is how some people get falsely put in prison. Look at how just some people can just be accused for nothing. This thing was probably even on to show the whole thing.
I'm slightly embarrassed right now.
What did I do? What did I do?
I could have swore you got up while I was doing this to go do something. You didn't touch your water.
What was that something?
You didn't touch your water bottle and then put it back on the table?
And what, bumped it with my ass or some shit?
Yeah.
When did I get up?
While I was doing the computer stuff.
Since I sat, I got up.
Yeah.
Ever since I sat down, my ass has not left the chair. Ever since I sat down in this chair.
See, I thought maybe that you did leave the chair. I thought that there was a chance that you left the chair.
The most I did.
Also, you should scoot in. I don't want you cut off.
The most I could tell you for sure that I did with this chair.
What you're doing? What? Okay, what did you do with the chair? What the?
The most I did.
Okay.
Was I grabbed my drink that was over there.
I
don't know if I went like, oh.
Okay.
My drink.
So
was
you
there.
did do something.
No, like
you
this.
you were doing something
Like
though.
this.
Okay, so I'm not weird to think.
I didn't leave the chair though. I didn't get up.
Okay, but you rolled around. That's why I'm asking, because I saw your water bottle there, and I could have swore it was over there, and it moved. And I'm wondering if you moved the fucking camera.
How would I move the camera?
Like, I don't know, being a dummy, you know, just
You're the one that's
boof. Here's my water bottle right here. I'm gonna put it next to the camera.
So explain then, how would I have moved the camera without tipping it over? If
Why
I wasn't using that much dexterity?
First off, why did your voice get so much better?
I don't know. Oh, probably because I'm now holding it underhanded.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Explain.
Okay, what?
How would I be able to, without the intention, right? Be able to tilt the camera without tipping the whole thing
I thought
over.
you moved it like this way, that way. I thought you, and then it just, because.
Try to reenact it. Try to explain what you're explaining to me. That everything's right here for you to show how it can mimic it.
Oh, yeah.
Show it. No, it's right there. You can do it.
I mean, it was right there. So you got to grab the water bottle.
Okay, the water bottle's right there. You don't have to start from there.
And can I have a prop? Can I have a prop?
That's the prop right there. That's already, you're using the
I just want to be careful.
You're using the key evidence.
I just want to be careful because I don't want to bump into the camera.
Okay, like
I'm being aware. As we should,
like
right?
how I explained.
Correct?
Like you would, yeah.
Okay. So you grab the water.
Without tipping the camera
and
over.
then, here, I'm going to pull this. I don't even want to. I don't
Without
even want.
even tipping the camera.
See, I'm so aware that there's a camera there, and I don't want to fuck anything up. So that's why I keep grabbing for shit, and then I pull away. Okay, but let's just pretend that there's a table right here. I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Okay, you did it, and then you drank it, and you probably didn't even do a good job. You probably had some water that came down your chin. But I'm not going to judge you for that.
Drink.
And you drank it.
I drink out of a bowl.
And then you put it on, and then you just went, and it like moved the camera a little bit.
Like I just said, how could I have been so clumsy and not knock the camera over?
I just like, dude, I have my back turned. Why? Like, and I'm accusing you of something.
I'm explaining to you how yours doesn't make any sense. If I was to do that, how come it didn't fall over? Because you're so.
Well, I mean, it's on a tripod. It's not like it's top heavy.
You didn't hear no.
I heard a.
Damn, you heard me fucking pile drive it onto the fucking.
Dude, it sounded like you were disrespecting my home. That's what it felt like.
Show me how I could have done that without. What did I elbow it? Putting it. What I'm saying is the way how the human body is shaped. I'm not even as tall as you, so my elbow.
You know
wouldn't
what?
even pick out.
I was on the computer, dude. I was on the computer and I heard the noise and I go.
This is how people go to jail.
I like
for crimes they've never.
I heard the thing go down, and I thought to myself, little too much. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought in my head, I was like, we're getting a little too excited. Okay, a little too excited.
So you're saying what? I slammed it so hard that the camera shook it. Move the.
Yeah.
Tell me how.
First off, did you just say shooketh? Shooketh.
Tell me.
Doth camera shooketh as I placed force of the what?
How much resistance is on that tripod? How much is on that
What
guy's
do you mean? What do you mean?
Adjust
Resistance?
Adjust the camera back to its right position.
No, I don't want to touch it because what if you didn't? That's what I'm getting at. That's where I'm getting at.
What does that even mean?
What I'm saying is
Exhibit A, Exhibit B.
Yeah. I mean, table would be Exhibit C.
Yeah,
perhaps.
But that has what impact?
I'm just saying it's just a flimsy card table. So when you it probably and it moved a little bit, just a little bit. I'm just saying, like, Kate, when you put it down, you didn't notice nothing go whoop.
Then adjust the camera and tell me how hard.
I don't want to adjust it because what if you did? What if it didn't happen?
Well, then you just want to leave it incorrect the whole podcast.
Yeah.
This is great.
I
You want to leave it askew?
What if it isn't? What if it's perfectly fine? What if it's
See, this is what I'm worried about. Oh, Jesus Christ.
See what I mean? That's the kind of disrespect you come in here and you just start don't.
Is that still too hard?
That proves my point. The camera's fucked up now, and I don't want to touch it now. I hope I'm cut off. I hope it's just you this whole time.
Do you feel like something was accomplished?
Yeah, I proved my point. You fucking.
What point was proven? There's no evidence
that you may have moved the camera a little bit.
May is not proving a point.
I'm getting a lot more confident about my decision after what you just did.
You know, we could just review it right now.
No, because then we gotta stop. We can't see. Listen.
Are you trying to salvage any of this?
All I'm saying is, if you move the camera, you move the camera.
If I move the camera, I move the camera.
Be aware of the camera. That's it. That's all you have to do. Is don't.
That's what happened.
It didn't sound like that. It didn't sound like that. It sounded like that. It sounded.
You think I put it that hard?
It sounded like you wanted to establish something. Like, I'm drinking water. Like, that's what it.
That's fine.
It's okay. See, why do you put shit on the table that has the camera?
Didn't you tell me to put it there in the first place?
No, I never did. I don't know why you keep putting it there. There's a fucking camera there.
Here.
That was
Here.
That was drink. Close. Bada bing, bada boom. It's that easy.
Here, put it from left to right.
From
I heard that. It through
was-
here. I got a cramp from hearing that.
it's because I'm aware of it.
Not.
You know, I'm just
Like you're consciously doing it.
There's no winning. There's just moral of the story is you just watch out for the camera.
The moral of the story is. You know what's the moral of the story? There is no story.
Well, welcome to the podcast, guys. How's it going?
Good enough.
That was the intro. Thank you.
As good as any.
That was the prologue. That was the... Oh, dude. Cheers.
Cheers.
To another podcast. You're not fired yet.
I'll get there. Don't worry. It won't take that long.
Dude, so I was at a wedding yesterday and someone, they came out of the bathroom and they, looked at me and, we locked eyes. And
across the room.
And I could tell that he did this thing because we locked eyes. But it was like he was also trying to say hi, but he just looked at me and was just like
Most people just don't like people.
Well, no, it wasn't it was almost like he wanted to acknowledge me, but just the way he did it was just it was weird. But
Are you saying out of irritation?
no, it wasn't out of irritation. It was more like I'm acknowledging you, but I also had a fucking dump. I just had to take a fucking dump, dude. So I'm a little dumped out. You know how
You get dumped out when you take a shit?
well, some men just get dumped out when they take a shit. Sometimes it just takes it out of you. You ever
I guess if it's a bad one.
You ever
bad food.
I mean, have you ever dumped and then you're just 20?
Some men would consider that place their throne.
Well,
their office.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know. Have you ever taken a dump and you lost 20% of your power?
Well, yeah, if you had bad food or something, I guess.
Not even that. Just you just drop, you drop weight. You're in a different class of fighting now.
I mean, where you're taking your shoes off.
Yeah. Where you're trying to hit a certain weight, and then because you're that at that heaviness, then you take a fucking dump. and then you're like ounces less. I'm sure that's happened. That's definitely happened.
And did you say like I'm sorry or something when you looked at him or what?
No, I just like I did my whole like, you know, like I'll just walk. You know what I mean?
No.
You ever do that shit with like people? You just do that fucking
Head on.
Yeah, just like a little like you exist.
Yeah. You just locked eyes and you just like
Yeah, you just fucking lock eyes and you just like stare at each other and like he just does like a and you're like a
that's anyways.
That's how men communicate sometimes. It's just through grunts and movements in the face.
Where are you going with this, bro?
I'm just saying, you know, sometimes nonverbal communication.
Bro, this is
It was just an interaction I found it very interesting from yesterday. That's, you know. See, you did it.
that's different. That's not that's what
That's another form of it, though. You don't tell me that you've never like communicated like I just took a big dump to somebody by like just
to a stranger down a hallway. I probably just like locked eyes and just like
you've never done that before. That shit, it happens to me at least once a week. Once a week.
damn, you got some fucking expressive ass people. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, how was that dump? Oh, interesting. You proud of yourself? Anything interesting happened to you this week?
I've not necessarily. I mean, keeping things just nice and just relax. I mean, no, nothing. What about you?
You live a boring life.
You think so?
Yeah. You need to go skydiving or something.
Have you gone skydiving?
Never.
Will you go skydiving?
Very unlikely.
Why not? Because I would. That wouldn't be a problem. I actually would rather go skydiving than bungee jumping. Would you rather go bungee jumping or skydiving?
Damn, dude, I don't know. That's a little too much for me.
Really?
It's a little too much adrenaline for me. I don't think
Damn, for you to just tell someone to go out and do something that hardcore and you wouldn't even do something remotely close to it. Would you go on a roller coaster with a loop, or is that too much for you?
I could go on a roller coaster on a loop. Easy. I just like, dude, I don't know about bungee jumping.
I really
Skydiving is so. You know, I knew a skydiving instructor, and he said that he had to go up like 4 to 6 times a day. Like, imagine that being your job.
Yeah, but isn't the drop only about like 1.5 minutes? Maybe the drive up is about like probably 5.
Yeah,
I imagine the most part he's doing is
jumping
just
out of an airplane.
Well, if he does it that much, I'm pretty sure he's used to it.
Oh, fuck, bro. Imagine the process of getting used to it.
I mean, so the first times you do skydiving, you are always attached to someone. And then you have to do X amount of jumps before they're like, okay, you're going to do it. And I imagine if you're someone who likes to, you know, you're interested in wanting to do it, you're going to be like, what's this? What's this? How do I do this? Why do I do that? Or whatever they'll tell you. And then once they're like, okay, you're ready, You can go by yourself, and then you should be broken in by now. If you have a fear of heights to begin with, then yeah, this is going to be I mean, why are you even there? I mean, unless you're trying to get over it, then that would be pretty gnarly.
It's just the thought of like just jumping out of a fucking airplane.
Is there a fear that you feel like you can get over if you? Is it heights, or do you have a fear of some creature more?
I have a fear of mistakes. I just feel like I have like I'll give you a great example. So yesterday I totally forgot my bag, one of my bags for a wedding that I was DJing yesterday. I forgot one of my light bags. So I had to call Matt, my brother. And he had to drive out to Rockland to give it to me. And dude, what if that happened to like I got this, I got this, I got that, I got this. And then like I jump out and I'm like, oh fuck, I don't got this. And I'm so like that's what really drives my fear.
I remember growing up locking my keys in my car multiple times. So now I have it like every time I get up, I do a pocket check. Because that's happened.
Well, still.
But that's not like a real fear of mine. Like I'm saying like I mean, I'm not saying that's not a real fear or whatever. That's just not of mine. Like,
maybe I need to just...
Do you have a fear of the ocean? Do you have a fear of heights? Do you have a fear of... I mean, I know some people have a fear of clowns. There's a small group of people who look at clowns and they're really set off from it, no matter what the content is.
Well, I'm always going to fear the ocean. I'm always going to fear heights. There's going to be some...
So you do have a fear of heights?
Well, like, there's going to be some sort of, like...
Like, skydiving is too much for you.
I'm not like, oh, my God, I can't go on the top of Rockefeller building. Like, I could, you know? I'm just saying, like, there's going to be a little bit of anxiety that's going to be associated somehow with me in those situations. So jumping out of an airplane, you're always going to have anxiety doing that.
What about snakes and spiders? Creepy crawlies?
It depends on who has the upper ground, I think.
You mean if you just were walking...
Oh, like, if there was a spider crawling on my arm, like, yeah, I'd be scared. But if there's a spider crawling on the ground, like, nah, fuck that shit.
Like, even if it was just a daddy long leg, you freak out.
No, I know spiders. If I saw, like, a fucking black widow on me, I'd probably scream. I'd be like, ah! Like, I would let out. I would like vocalize my fear.
What's funny is I heard, obviously, yes, they're a venomous creature. But I heard that like they're really not necessarily lethal unless you have a pretty a pretty weak immunity system. I think only just pretty young people and pretty old people are susceptible to it. But I think if a perfectly healthy person got bit by a black widow, they just get kind of sick for the next couple of days, like kind of under the weather, from what I've heard. Maybe your bite looks kind of nasty, but it's not like getting bit by a brown recluse, which is a lot different.
I don't even know what a fucking brown lacrosse looks like. Whatever the hell it is, dude.
That's a spider that has a flesh-eating. I don't know if it's not a virus. It has a flesh-eating type of pathogen of some sort. When it bites you, there's some people who don't get their bite doesn't look that bad. There's other people, there's a gaping hole rotting out of them.
Oh God.
It's a flesh-eating spider bite.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Some of them could get to the size of a quarter to a half $1 of missing flesh.
Dude, imagine just, oh man. I bet you that's fucking painful. That is painful. We should look up spider bites.
You could. There's always like these set photos that will certainly come up.
Damn, dude. That is fucking...
What are you more disturbed of? Spiders or snakes?
Spiders.
Yeah, I am
Snakes.
too. I have more forgiveness for snakes than spiders.
Well,
I
snakes-
understand both of them are pretty like there's spiders. They're intelligent beings. Like they you know, I think we always just look at them like, gross, but they are like
I have a
thinkers.
strong prejudice against spiders. Very strong prejudice.
like I think spiders are smarter than snakes. I've seen spiders look at prey and actually look at, whoa, there it is, so I need to climb up here and I could drop a net onto it. There's like some spiders that are super critical thinkers.
That's fucking.
And snakes just like,
That's fucking.
they just
scary.
look at something and they just go for it and get it. You know what's crazy is the most longest lasting forms of life are just the most simplest, basic, like, you know, hominids and just, you know, intelligent mammals. I don't know. There might be some from back then, but a lot of the stuff here that we think is really advanced is very, very new on you know, the life cycle of everything that's been here. Like, but the things that has always been here, reptiles and bugs, they don't have like emotions or anything. I don't know if crocodiles are really like, just like plan things out, or they just sit, something crosses its path.
What about a shark, dude? Do you think sharks get angry, or do you think they're just food?
I'm not sure.
That's probably how they think too. Food. Just I'm fucking hungry. That's how I imagine every shark sounding like. Oh, fucking starving, dude.
Do you think all sharks think the same? Like, look at all dogs. Like, clearly you could see some dogs behave way different than others.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You could look at a boxer and like, oh my God, they all have a heart of gold, but some of them you could tell just have a couple of screws loose. Like,
I think
with me, boxers, I love boxers. I don't necessarily own one or anything, but all the dogs that I've interacted with that are boxers, super playful, super happy, but they're just like, how you explain it? Ugh, I don't know you, but I love you. Like,
I think that.
but there's other dogs that are just way more. You could look at them, you're like, that dude, I could feel like that dog is staring out into nothing, but he's thinking of something. There's like a couple doggy concepts he's going over. Have you ever seen a dog just stare out a window?
Oh yeah.
Just like, what is it, boy?
What is it?
Are you looking for something?
He's looking for himself. Dude, dogs are just.
We breeded so many dogs that have so many different unique. Like I imagine there's some sharks that I mean, like tiger sharks. They're way more aggressive than other sharks, but I don't know if they really have that type of like that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
But you know what
The shark equivalent of
does live in
rubbing
the
your
ocean that has high intelligence is an octopus. Those things are actually very, very smart.
Yeah.
Dolphins too. Dolphins are very, very intelligent. I think whales are too. Here we are going back to whales, but I think dolphins are more intelligent. But I think octopus are number one in the ocean. I don't think there's anything smarter than we've witnessed them do a lot of incredible things, but it's so crazy to have something that's so smart.
What if
but it can't do anything?
What if octopus had a war? You think they fight each other?
There's some octopus, right? They know how to grab oysters and use them as shields. They know how to do that. They know how to grab like a seashell and go inside and close it with them inside.
Interesting.
There's others that know that some fish or they know that there's something inside the ocean that has a poisonous barb. They know how to rip it off and use it as a dart and stab stuff with it. Like they know stuff. They can
really.
think, but what's sad for them is they don't have that long of a lifespan. Now, for things to get extremely smart, there's one thing to
you have to have a long life to get smarter.
You need time to figure all this stuff out. You know, they only have just several years to kind of.
How long do they live? How long did?
I think it depends on the octopus. Really, I don't know. And plus, obviously, whatever octopus is, whatever octopus that's in the wild is not going to live to the same as one in captivity. And I imagine that it's not like, like with some mammals in captivity, they live a lot longer. I don't think it's the same with marine life. Not with all, at least. I think there's some that actually have a shorter life because, we can't mimic the ocean as well as we think we could. And a lot of these things have a very, have you noticed there's never been a great white shark in an aquarium before? Have you ever heard of a great white shark?
I don't know. I don't go to aquariums.
Just have you ever heard of a great white shark in captivity, period?
I don't think so. No. Isn't there like one shark that just like can't be like captured or something? It can't be in captivity, is what I'm saying.
It just can't be in standing water or anything like that.
Why? Will it go crazy?
No, it just needs to be constantly moving and stuff. And I think it needs filtering water to go through. I really can't explain. There's obviously videos everywhere that would put that more into sense than I could.
I'm thinking about what's in the fucking ocean, dude. The ocean is so fucking big. It is so big.
It's funny how I have such a fascination with space, but I do not care what's in the ocean because
you don't care, or you just haven't.
Not that I don't care, but me myself, I wouldn't pioneer into that. I would rather.
It's not.
I would rather face the horrors of space, which may sound dumb to some people who probably understand the properties of both, but
But
the ocean is after. I think it's only after. Dude. I think it's only after 150 feet is when it gets dark. When you're in the water,
absence of light.
When you're in the water, you could always see
something.
You could see a blue hue of some sort. It's only after 100. Not like we ourselves can swim below that.
But it's
But if you were to ever go into something, it's not going to take that long. It's just, and then it's all whatever your lights can hit. So it's just nothing. It's nothing but water and a couple. There could be something way over there. You can't see it because it's not like your lights are where it's just shining everywhere. It's an omnidirectional light.
Do you think that there's
there's clearly things that we have not discovered?
Do you think that there's something big down there? I'm talking size of Rhode Island.
That's a little too big, I think.
You think that's too big for us to not notice? What about the size of Manhattan?
Yeah, again, that's way too big.
That's way too big? What about this?
All right, tell me, if it was that big, how is it going to sustain itself? That thing needs to eat. Yeah.
True.
Wow. Whales eat krill, but there is a lot of krill. There's a shitload of krill. I don't think there's krill that
What
deep.
if it feeds off of fucking whales? What if it comes up a little bit just to fucking just
Well, there are battles between giant. There's the squid, the giant squid, and the colossal squid. There's some people who argue that there's even a category above that. I am no marine biologist. But I mean, the fact that there's 3 categories of squid, and these things fight sperm whale. There's and to think that there's some people who speculate there may be something even bigger
Dude, can you just imagine a fucking squid just like you're swimming and it just pulls your ass, dude? You're fucking done, dog.
There's no fighting that. If you had something, but I mean, like that thing has a beak.
Oh god, that'll fucking cause you a lot of
bird's
pain.
beak already hurts enough. I have no idea what a
fucking
squid would do.
Like a colossal squid. Their beaks are probably as big as like a fucking.
If it's to eat whales, they can cut through all that fat. So they're just gonna chop through you like like twigs.
Nothing. Yeah, just like you're just like some nougat crunch. You're done. You're a cracker.
Yeah.
Just poop you back out, dude.
Yeah, I really don't have that much interest to go into the ocean.
Dude.
I'd rather go out into space.
I was watching a video on the Mariana Trench and how deep that shit is.
Yeah.
And like
Mount Everest can fit inside and it still wouldn't even nearly poke out through,
yeah,
like the halfway point.
Like not only that though, but it's such a small percentage of like the crust.
Yeah.
Like the crust goes for
many
more miles.
So what the deepest the Mariana Trench is about like what? I think they
I have no clue.
I think I've heard it mostly in kilometers but like I think it's like it's like what I think it's like
I don't know. No, it's not 8,000 kilometers. Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
That's a kilometer is more than a mile, so you're saying it's more than 8,000 miles.
It's less than a mile. A 5K is 3
No,
miles.
that's right. That's right. But still, even if you reduce that, so 5K would be 3,000 miles.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere around like 1.4 to like something like that. I don't know why. We have the internet right here. You could just look it up.
Well, because like I don't know, Mariana Trench. I'm gonna be pissed if I was right. If it's 8,000 kilometers.
Now, what's crazy is
it's 200 kilometers. It's about 200 kilometers deep.
Now, what's
10,000 meters.
What's crazy is so it's that deep, right? And our tallest mountain is Mount Everest. On Mars, it has a canyon in a mountain that makes ours pale in comparison.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's not 200 kilometers. It's located in Western Pacific, about 200 kilometers east. How deep is it?
Just Control F, depth. Or deep.
Yeah. The maximum is 3,025 meters. I don't... Hold on.
5,000 feet is a mile. 5,000 something feet. While you figure that out, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Are you going to go to the bathroom? You piece of shit. You're going to leave me with the... It's 36... It is 36,000 feet deep, which is almost 7 miles. It is 7 miles deep. Holy fuck. That is big. 7 miles, dude. I have like problems running that far. That is, dude, I can hear you in the fucking bathroom. What the fuck? He's just going. Jesus. Well, this is professional. Is he? Yo, why aren't we shooting this podcast in the bathroom?
It's a nice looking bathroom.
He says it's a nice looking bathroom. Yeah, we got paper. We keep paper towels in the bathroom just cause, dude, we're kind of different. I just watch out, dude. You walked past the camera. You almost bumped into it.
But I avoided it with extreme dexterity.
So the Mariana Trench is 7 miles deep. 7 miles deep.
Just imagine all that pressure.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure, dude.
That's another thing. Like, it's already one thing to be afraid of is what's in there. But imagine you're in a vessel that gives.
Dude. That is, oh my God, dude. It's so hard to like think about that. And like, I'm sure there's deeper oceans in the universe. There's bigger planets, bigger crusts, deeper trenches in oceans. Like, how do we even measure that shit?
I mean,
I did read that, actually. I did read how we measured it. I don't know why. It's just crazy how we did, but we've had it measured for years, for like hundreds of years, I think. I think it was like hundreds of years, like a couple hundred years, because they just like dropped an anchor, and like the anchor was measured.
Are you more interested in the ocean or space?
I'm way more interested in space, but the ocean's still intriguing because it's still home. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how they say like how much of it is like undiscovered. Like they're like, it's like 90 something percent.
I think they've updated it now. I think they've like said like maybe we know 14 or a little bit more.
We know 14% of the ocean. That's concerning.
I'm pretty sure we're getting technology to start scanning it better.
That's scary that we understand 14% of 72% of the planet. Like, think about that.
Yeah, but to think thousands of years we didn't know nothing other than what's on the surface, and not even. Imagine just building a boat and you're just like, we're just going to go that way until we find land.
That's what happened. Christopher Columbus.
And many others.
Nobody else really did that before him. That's why he's like so big.
What about Easter Island?
I don't know.
No, I mean like
there's... Where is the Eastern Islands?
That should be a trivial question, but
who fucking knows, dude?
But I know it's many miles off the mainland. And these people, they think, got there through mostly canoes. The people you were talking about earlier, the Sentinelese.
Yeah.
You know how far that is from the mainland?
Damn, dude.
Like Christopher Columbus is not the only person. And plus, we even have evidence. We have evidence that Vikings made it onto America. So there's been more than one culture that crossed the ocean before.
Really?
Yeah.
And didn't kill anybody, or were they just fucking?
No, apparently, from what I heard, there is evidence of Vikings in Canada / like Northern America, like Northern USA or whatever. But I think they went back. I don't think they actually could hang here. And maybe it's just a different land. I don't know. Maybe they got disease here that people who've built over in this
cold ass Canada.
Yeah. So some scientists recently actually drilled out some ice and actually unearthed some ancient bacteria. And it came back to life.
Fuck, dude.
So like,
fuck bacteria, bro.
There is still like ancient life preserved. Some of these things just go inactive.
What if that's on another planet and that shit is deadly to us?
There's a lot of people who suspect that, we're a product of that or whatever and whatnot. Like, there's a lot of small singular life that just doesn't die per se. It just turns off.
That's so fucking insane. That is just like, just boom. It's just like, oh, we're warm again. Hey, what's up? How's it going? I'm gonna fuck it up.
I've heard, like, I think tardigrades can go inactive for, hundreds of years.
Dude. Hundreds of years. Imagine just like chilling for 100 years. Just coming back. What's up? So what's new? What's popping?
How far, like, how people say, like, man, imagine if we found a frozen caveman and we were able to unthaw him and he, like, grew consciousness. How well can he adapt? How far into the future do you think would be too much for us?
Oh, he'd be like fucking. It would take us years to really like communicate with him because we have to teach him how to communicate with us.
How far do you think it would be like for us?
For what?
You think people today would be immune to such shock? Yes, we understand flight. We understand.
I think it'd definitely be jarring, but I feel like people like us could handle waking up in 1,000 years more so than someone 1,000 years ago waking up now. Definitely. Because we're so conditioned to sci-fi movies and shit like that. So like
desensitized.
The thought of it has been explored before. So if we caught ourselves,
the thought of it, but the emotion,
but like
going through it, you mean you're gonna wake up and you're gonna go, "Wow, I really didn't think this was gonna happen."
But like 1,000 years ago, back in the Dark Ages, like all you thought about, you weren't thinking about what's it gonna be like in 1,000 years. Like you were thinking about, I'm gonna die. I need to make sure my fucking kids are religious. Like that's basically all what they thought about. So, like. But for us, we've thought of, dude, what if we woke up in 1,000 years?
I feel like pondering people back then. I mean, look at the ancient Greeks are a clear example of that. They have,
but even like we could provide an explanation though to it too. Like back then, they did not have technology. They did not have like this is unheard of. If it was, then they would have started making that shit. So. Or like a variation of it, and they never did. So I just kind of feel like, well, I mean,
I guess.
That's just I kind of lost where I was going with that because I was talking too much.
So you're saying you think you can handle going 1,000 years into the future better than going 1,000 years into the past?
Well, hindsight's 20/20, so I mean, I'll probably.
We already know.
I'll have an understanding of what's going on in the past.
I'm pretty sure that can easily be proven wrong. Like you go 1,000 years into the past, you see a group of men, you're not going to be able to speak their language.
No,
you're not going to be able to show them
who knows
intelligence.
What about 1,000 years in the future? We may not even be speaking the same language.
Exactly. I mean, either it could advance to the point where everyone has like an RFID chip on them and some crazy dystopian, or it's a utopia, or it's
I'm just thinking like if I woke up 1,000 years in the past though, like they'd be like, nah, we gotta fucking kill this guy. Because this guy knows too much, this guy destroys religion. But like, if I woke up 1,000 years in the future, they'd probably study the shit out of me more. They'd probably give me great hospitality.
Yeah.
They might be like,
or dissect you.
They might. No, I honestly think that they would. Because like, if somebody woke up, I'm just thinking like, if somebody woke up 1,000 years from 1,000 years ago, now. then we would definitely study them. We
Yeah,
would
you
we would
definitely
give
have to
him
learn-
meals.
You definitely had to learn a new language.
We would teach him. We would calmly teach him another language. You know, this is that. You know, teach it how. Tell us about your feelings. You feel good, bad, happy, sad. You know, and like he's communicated before. It's like a person 1,000 years ago has definitely communicated before, so he knows what's going on. He knows he's gonna be like, okay, like they're teaching me how to talk to them, so I need to learn this so I can talk to them. And I mean, we're gonna learn off of him. That's what I think. But see, like if you woke up 1,000 years ago, I feel like whoever would be in power wouldn't. They'd be like, dude, like yo, there's no way. Like religion there would be a religion based off of you, and they can't fucking have that. So they would kill you off.
Could be. I mean, who knows? It's
I mean,
who fucking knows?
That's a big question for
This
a lot
TED
of the
Talk
topics.
was brought to you by Truly.
It's just, oh man, imagine, dude. I've like looked up stories of people waking up after comas for like 10
30,
years,
40 years.
like 30 years, dude. Imagine waking up 30 years in the future, dude. I got a lot of.
It's
lot
also
to-
sad to say, like people who have long prison sentences. I mean, they're so shut off from society.
Yeah.
Like imagine getting, you're barely 18, so you get tried for as an adult, and you do,
30
around
years.
the same time frame,
Yeah.
about 30, 40 years, and you come outside, and you never even seen cell phones before. People were walking around with
You
smartphones.
couldn't even sell drugs because you don't know anybody on the outside. You know,
I
like
mean-
you couldn't even turn to crime after 30 to 40 years. 'Cause you come out and you're like, you don't know how to do shit, dude. When you're 18, you're not slinging it on the
You'd have to spend some time getting used to,
regular.
a new world.
Yeah.
It's still the same, but it's different.
Dude, people have put in time into prison and gotten out longer than we've been alive.
Yeah.
That's insane. There are people that are getting out now who have been in before we were born.
Don't do crime.
Well, I mean, just the thought of experiencing consciousness in a prison for years, dog, years. That is, dude,
And think there are monks who do it willingly in the temple or church. Just confined in just one area.
Well, I mean, they have a little bit. I don't know about.
They have freedom, but they willingly stay devoted. Just being
Yeah, but they're in a different mindset, dude. Like they're definitely not walking around thinking
but
like
there are
they're gonna
some
get
convents
fucked
who
up.
have accepted their fate and they're just there.
Yeah,
whatever.
but like
just imagine being at the
you don't
same-
walk around like, yo, I'm fucking on one right now because someone could come up to me right now.
The point, nonetheless, imagine being in the same spot, cut off
Damn, dude.
for years.
Well, prisoners get transferred all the time, I guess.
Sure,
But they could stay at a place for 15, 20
but
years.
you're cut off from being not willing. It's not like a tribe or anything. Like these people know that there is a society, and being cut off or willingly detaching themselves from it.
Dude, what's that like, bro? Imagine just being like, fuck this. I'm monking it.
Enlightening to some of them, I guess. That's why they're doing it.
Damn, dude. Just giving up on family, too. It's like, later, Mom, just consider me dead.
Well, I mean, I imagine you'd also have to have some type of background that probably encourages that. Like maybe a lot of them had a hard life or didn't really have, a
Could be.
beginning.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people who are New Age Christians have a traumatic experience.
Really?
Like a lot of people who are on drugs, who get off drugs. Like most of the time when you're in drugs, it's either you're going to end up like ODing or finding Christ. I mean, there's a few people who, are atheists.
Or just getting clean.
Yeah. A lot of people in prison, they come out Christian.
Yeah.
Like a lot of trauma, a lot of people handle it through discovering religion. I'm pretty sure that exists in different cultures.
Yeah.
I couldn't say, but I imagine that's how a lot of religion started, through a lot of people who,
Well, didn't we talk? I can't remember if we talked about this last week on the podcast or if we just talked about it in general. But like, religion, like, when people were going to different countries and teaching like Christianity or something like that, it was always because they brought with them something big, like the ability to do something that would greatly benefit the local community. And so in order for them to like really be a part of that, they had to like kind of conform to it, and like it also like helped them believe in it, like, in a town where, let's just say, fishing was hard because all you had was a net and some rocks. But then someone comes around and gives you a fishing pole and was like, yeah, God gave this to us. Well, oh, fuck, sign me up, dude. God probably knows, like, your God knows something more than my God, or I don't have a God. What's God, And so then that's how a lot of these people in a lot of other countries sometimes turned to like religion, was because it greatly benefited how they did stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, spreading it to a place that didn't have it, but I'm like saying, like, for a lot of these people, that religion has always been there. They didn't really go for it until this thing, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's one thing for someone to come over and to give it to you, but like it's another to be, in a situation where you have to look out for something and you find it in comfort in something. Well, it's
definitely
that.
Like a moral compass or like a lifestyle compass, and some people just like that, how obvious the compass points them in a direction, Some people kind of like need that. And religion's like a really good way. It's like almost like a mentorship, like religion is like kind of like a lifestyle mentorship where it points you in a certain direction. So that's why like a lot of people like in prison go for it, or like find it, or like a lot of people on drugs find it, or like a lot of like like youth go for it because it's like a very obvious, like, hey, this is the route that you kind of take, which is dope. I like that. I don't do it, but I mean, I'm like, that's cool.
I think also it could be for a lot of people who just have like a concept of death or theology, just thinking of like the afterlife and all that, what happens afterwards.
It makes it feel better, for sure. Because it's pretty doom and gloom if you don't have religion and you're not optimistic. But if you're more of a pessimist and you know that, like, heaven's the way, though, dude, I'm just on for the ride. Let's get, I'll get to the end when I get to the end then,
I feel like religion is one of those things that have changed very little throughout. I mean, there's been a lot of religion and whatnot, but I mean, like, the concept, the behavior, we've been constantly advancing, but religion's still, the formula's still there. You have this moral code you must attune to in order to have a certain afterlife. It's been retold in certain different Christianity, Catholicism, Episcopalian, Judaism, Muslim.
They're all like similar.
All of them have this, you should do this in order to acquire a sustaining afterlife or whatever. There's a few that do say like, oh, there is no afterlife or whatnot. But
do you think there's
what's an interesting story actually is I heard that they suspect the root of religion could actually have been from like cavemen having shrooms and having, just finding, something that, and all of a sudden, whoa, just a vision.
Just
and they just,
vision.
And they just said, like, I just saw some crazy things. I think I just tapped into something else. Like, imagine being a caveman going on a shroom trip. How jarring that would be. And then all of a sudden you start telling people.
I mean,
like,
your first trip's always a fucking trip, though.
Yeah. And
doesn't matter what, even if you like.
Even if I told you, hey, this is going to make you feel kind of funny.
Like, no, I mean, even if you've smoked a bunch of weed your whole life and then you try a psychedelic drug, that first trip is like, oh, that's different. Like, that shit is completely different.
It's funny. Like, it makes you think, like, all these drugs that just come naturally from the earth, right?
Uh-huh.
Like all these shrooms. Like that is why did evolution go that route?
Yeah.
Why did fungus need specific? Because it's not like, all right, there's that in cannabis, right?
Uh-huh.
What else? I know there could be something else out there that probably is made if consumed in some sort can get you high. But like, I wonder what is the byproduct. I imagine it wasn't even meant to do, maybe to thwart off things from eating it. Why do shrooms have such a unique psychedelic property? Oh, most plants have DMT in it, which is the most strongest illusionary substance, which we even have in our own brain. It's the very same material that we excrete when we sleep that actually makes us dream. Every time you dream, well, you dream every day, even if you don't remember it. But when you do remember dream, that's a byproduct of your brain releasing DMT every night. And they say more plants on Earth have that than plants that don't. I wonder why, like, that's such a... Why is that a prevalent thing in nature?
In, like...
I don't think DMT could be... I don't think it's, like, synthesized and something has it. But, like, for sure, shrooms. For sure, some cows. Some,
why, like,
people.
dude, why does that shit exist? Well, I don't. Okay, listen. It's
These
just,
are the questions.
It's just something that exists that so happens to have the chemical compound that makes us feel and see and do like different shit. It's just another form of inebriation. So like what like it just so happens to be different than a lot of other shit. But like, there's some mushrooms out there that are just totally edible.
Good to eat.
Or some of them that are just completely fucking poisonous. Like you'll kill yourself if you eat them.
So I saw a documentary on mushrooms actually, now that we're on the subject of this.
Okay, yeah. I'm very like I've never talked about shrooms.
Do you have Curiosity Stream?
No, I don't. Should I get it?
Yeah.
Really? I was just thinking about that.
An entire year's worth is like $12 or $24 a year.
Okay.
It's like it's not even that. It's the cheapest streaming.
Not sponsored by Curiosity Stream.
No.
We'd be down though. We'd be down. Curiosity Stream.
But anyways, it has something on fungus, and it actually taught me how like essential they are. Like you think like, oh, we need plants for the plant eaters to eat, for the meat eaters to eat, for us to eat either one. Like the fungus needs to be there for the plants to interact with the plants.
Do plants eat fungus?
No, they're just connected through this. So they literally call it the wood wide web or something like that. So basically, all fungus is interconnected to all plant life that it's around, because it can't get all the nutrients it can by itself, but plants can. But fungus, they can like legitimately eat soil and dirt. Like roots just grow, whatever.
Yeah.
They can actually eat that stuff and feed it like either nitrogen or phosphorus, whatever like natural component that they also require. Pretty much any tree out there, any plant that's on the ground is interconnected in some way with some type of fungus. They're all like in some type of symbiosis connection. They all work with each other. And it's how actually, like, have you ever heard how plants are all connected in one way or another? Like if they're not the same plant or whatever, and they're not connecting with pheromones or whatnot, it's usually through this fungus.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like the unification of plants, funguses. It's respectfully its own thing in the kingdom of life.
Yeah, I know it was always its own like category. That's just so weird though that some of the fungus just gets as high as fuck. High as fuck, dude.
And they're old too. Like I think they said like fungus are older than plants itself. And ancient fungus were like trees, big pillar like things of life. I don't know if they were hard or anything, but they were like 7 to 12, maybe even 15 feet tall. Just pillar of fungus.
Jesus, dude. Fucking
life finds a way.
Life finds a fucking way. Well, fucking, dude, life is, it's fucking.
And it's so crazy how we can only find it here.
Yeah.
Is it because it's just.
Well, we found life on Mars. We found little bacteria.
I don't think they've confirmed that it's bacteria. They found evidence of bacteria. They haven't said like flat out like we found life
so
on
far.
Mars. And if there was, it probably was leftovers from what we brought there. Like I don't think they've legitimately have said we found foreign. I think they said like, oh, we found a byproduct of life. Usually,
Which
what
is
it would
like
be.
what, poop?
Not necessarily, but like if you want to speak in like super layman terms.
I don't know, dude. Why is our planet so fucking yummy compared to like other planets just like around us?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Like our planet is divine compared to just the other shit that's out there.
It's
Other just garbage ass planets.
that's another
You can't
a viable reason to have religion, like to think of that like uniqueness. Like it is one thing to like think like everything was created by chance, to be completely devoid of any religion, but it's another thing too to be like, okay, why are we here and there's nothing else? Like, sure, maybe we'll find something later on, but like,
well, there's also a possibility that like just at the roll of a dice,
I guess maybe we haven't been around long enough to distribute a message far and wide enough that we can get feedback, maybe.
Or maybe they're too advanced that they're blocking us off. Like, we don't go in that area. That's Earth's area. So,
I mean, we do find uncontacted tribes of people, and we're like, hey, let's not mess with them.
That's what I'm saying. Like
there's probably an alien. There's probably an alien civilization that sees us and they're like, hey, they're still trying to figure out how to get rid of borders. They still have continents that they like.
What if
segregate themselves from? Let's wait until they get their shit together, and then we'll reach out to them.
What if like we're the Sentinelese, of like space. like we think we're so ahead because we're like, yo, we got fucking cell phones. And then there's just societies out there that are like, yeah, they're still growing.
Could be. I mean,
because like we're fucking like, dude, if aliens came down, look at us, bro. We're monkeys right now. We're just throwing our shit everywhere. We're yelling at people too much.
Who knows what kind of pathogens we would exchange with each other.
That's always going to be a reality.
That's why I liked War of the Worlds. Also, now that you think about it, they're aliens. Why didn't they walk around with hazmat suits?
Yeah, that's true too. Wouldn't you think that they would have learned that, like, through being in an advanced civilization? Like, hey, maybe we should come down and like not fucking be naked.
Yeah, they weren't even wearing clothes.
I know, dude. Like, what the fuck? Those aliens fucked up, dude. That's also fun, like at the end of Signs, where like the aliens are like, "Oh, dude, we see
Signs."
Oh, you didn't? Okay, so in the end, like the aliens were like, like, "Oh my god, aliens! They're gonna fuck us up!" And then we find out that water like fucks them up. So then we're like, okay, but isn't there like, first off, why would you come to a planet that is 72% water? Next, isn't there like water vapor in the air? So how much water does it take for you to like, you don't feel like a sensation already after walking around? Like it takes actual water spilling on you. So it was like a flaw in the movie, but I don't know, just I don't even know what we were talking about really. I was just
What movies have you that you watched recently?
Dude, it's so tough because I don't really like watch movies. I just play video games and make videos.
What was the last movie you saw?
Last movie I went to the movies with Julie.
You went to the movie? I still have not gone to the movie theater since.
We've been a couple of times. It's just like the same. I mean, I like now because of what's going on in California, I think that might slow down a bit. But we saw the one movie, The Bodyguards.
Oh, with Samuel Jackson and Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, that movie. And it was all right. It was all right. It looked like they were just like, hey, we got like kind of a good script that like we could make a movie off of. If we put these like bigger name actors in it, we can definitely sell it.
Well, that's a sequel from another movie.
Is it?
Yeah. They did a movie earlier.
What movie?
I'm doing that's the same. That's a sequel. That's number 2.
What?
Yeah.
That's a sequel?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I haven't seen either one.
That is not a sequel. What is it's like the bodyguard's wife or the wife.
Yeah, he was like, shit, I gotta work with him. Yeah, because they worked already together. It's not like some relationship.
Oh, I thought it was just like some backstory.
That's not number 1.
Because they held our hand through the backstory, like a lot of the way.
Well, that's what movies do nowadays. They speculate the reason why they do that nowadays is because Hollywood usually tries to pander to a lot of other foreign countries, and because we don't talk the language, they like recite things over and over again.
Oh,
that's why they say that The Mummy was really, really bad, because like there was like multiple narrations of the same thing of what you're watching go over and whatnot. But speaking of which, I mean, do you believe that movies have really taken a turn for the better or the worse, considering like what's happened now these days?
Like politically?
I mean, you could either say politically, technologically. Like, would you say with graphics getting better and better and better, what was the last movie you saw and you're like, damn, there wasn't even a fucking CGI character or anything? Like, everything now these days is usually like,
there's some CGI elements to everything.
You would almost think that superhero movies isn't just a genre anymore at this point. It's like that is the movies that are in a movie theater. What was the last time you heard of? I mean, yeah, I guess you saw that fucking bodyguard thing, but like,
well, there was CGI in that. Ryan Reynolds got hit by a car twice.
Really?
And they showed that shit. So it's like you have to CGI that shit. And it was obviously CGI'd. Like, I don't even know why they had that joke in there. It was like, why? You can't even pull it off. You can't even pull it off that well. It looks like he got hit by a car and it does not look realistic. Like, at all. Like, he gets hit and it's just lands in the same spot he gets hit. You know, like that weird shit.
I feel like video games have been doing a pretty good job of doing a story compared to like movies as of lately. At least for like, you know how you're supposed to watch a movie, you're supposed to relate to a character, you're supposed to feel their motivation. Or whatever. Like if you're gonna artistically really view it and like really view it or whatnot. I think just naturally a video game character is starting like. I know, like, you go back 30, 40 years and you talk about video games, people be like, that's some childish shit and whatnot. And I always thought as a kid, when, you know, the Nintendo 64 and PS1 were your main forms of entertainment, I remember thinking, like, man, like, 20, 30 years, like, are there still going to be adults playing? Like, I didn't know that there's already adults playing, like, Pac-Man and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But still, it wasn't like, oh, yeah, everyone's doing that. Like, that was a very niche community. Like, it's still kind of a niche community, but I don't think it's as tucked away. Definitely, I feel like there's more people gaming now than before. And I
think it's because it's more, like, accessible.
Probably. But I think also it's because it's been around long enough to where people get it.
Well,
like also, you can't see your parents playing the newest video game coming out, right? Like you get them set up. All right, here's this controller.
But dude, games sucked back then. Like half the NES catalog is unplayable. It truly is unplayable, and the only reason why it was playable. I know
there's some people who would argue with you.
There's definitely some unplayable games on there that were like really huge hits back in the day because that's all you had. That was all that you had. You couldn't do an open world adventure game. You had to have the Zelda game, you know. And now that game is virtually unplayable. It's too fucking difficult.
Like, do you think 20 years from now? Like, because everyone's going to be playing video games?
Well, you know, I was thinking about this the other day. What is fun in a video game? Is it the challenge? Is it the ability to solve everything? Is it like,
well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty. There are all those different versions of a video game. There's purely just puzzle games. You got your Tetris, your Bejeweled, your Match 3 puzzles.
Yeah.
Those puzzles, like, are just... do this, have that happen, do the next thing.
Yeah, and I mean, you have like other games like...
Then you got your shooters.
Well, like think about the first Mario game, how unplayable it is compared to the third Mario game on the NES. Mm-hmm. The third Mario, like you can play, it's timeless now.
So like, yeah, like you only seen so many people play video games then. Like, do you think 20, 30 years later... everyone's gonna be playing video games? A third to maybe like.
No, they're
you don't see like a chunk of grandparents playing video games.
Nah, not really.
You don't see a bunch of senior citizens.
Well,
playing
I mean,
Animal Crossing
like, are you gonna be playing video games when you're 50 years old? Probably. It's probably going to be a different market.
So
a lot of games nowadays are really mature or really kiddish. They're not like in between, like they used to be.
So there's usually, you know,
you have Pokemon, and then you have like Dark Souls.
Yeah, you also have like Uncharted. That's like a pretty grounded adventure story.
Yeah, but kids aren't playing that shit.
No, but there's people our age. Like most video games are usually either for kids or people of our age. And it's not saying that old people can't play that. I mean, there's a mature content in a lot of this stuff. It's just I don't think old people really, you know, it's just something that wasn't access to them back then, and they've had an opinion about it before. But I'm pretty sure that's been being broken up by now. I mean, I don't see it absurd to see an older person playing, like God of War or something. It's a pretty fucking intense story if you watch it and stuff like that. I just think like. There'd be
well, not everybody was like watching movies when movies came out. No. I don't believe.
What's funny is there was a lot of people who, when books was barely becoming a thing, was nervous about how people just have their heads down, stuck in their books.
That's funny.
Just like how we were doing that with phones, and now people are kind of gotten over that hump. And they're just kind of. Whatever.
Well, there's other issues with phones that people are talking about.
Yeah.
Like the social, the stressful social aspect of it.
Social media definitely for sure is something that like has affected.
Don't talk down to the social media lords.
There's no denying that social media. There's no denying that social media has definitely affected how people are.
It definitely has.
I would say interact, and even now at this point have consequences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back in the late 1990s, early 2000s, you can say and do anything you want on the internet with absolutely zero repercussions.
Yeah, really.
Like there was absolutely no restrictions of any kind.
No, it was lawless. It's gonna get more lawed too,
For sure.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely Wild Wild West era back then.
Yeah.
Like you just do whatever.
Now, like I feel like the internet age that we're in right now is like the 1920s, where everybody had their own fucking like brewery and shit in their house.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like it's
a lot of people are starting to get the understanding of how it operates. They can't operate it themselves, but they are aware.
They're like finding tricks and stuff like that and how to operate.
I mean, it's encouraged everyone should get a VPN and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like just your opinions too. Like you can just like you can.
Oh yeah, people get fired all the time now just for saying stuff online.
Well, like there's also like there's a whole side of like political commentators. Well, they'll read something, and just because the people that watch them are a certain political view, they will just speak to that political view. And I kind of feel like because like there's a lot of conservative people that I listen to that like sometimes I occasionally like listen to their stuff and I'm like, I kind of just feel like if you like this is obvious that you're being a little too much about it, and you're just pandering to your audience because you need to.
What's funny is before the age of the internet, it was usually a common thing to keep political talk under wraps.
Yeah.
To not be so expressive. Hey, you keep this conversation out of the dinner table or something like that.
Yeah, and now it's just so open.
It's like a fucking battlefield online. Yeah. Just like there's just some areas, there's just some chat rooms you just go for an argument, not even just like a conversation.
Dude, some people look forward to that shit. They just like want to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah. Like, the internet is so interesting how like it has affected so many different people in so many different ways.
It's made people go crazy.
Yeah.
It's like seriously fucking crazy.
Yeah, like I wonder what's worse between what's that? What's beeping?
Oh, it's the camera. We ran out of battery.
Oh no.
Yeah. So looks like our time is up actually.
Time is up. There's even no need for this outro.
Well, no, we're still recording the audio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So
now we're just
now
you get to listen to us.
Our voices. But we're gonna wrap it up anyway. So, because I have to pee.
So do I. These truly were truly. They were truly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to us, guys. This has been Xris Beltran.
And Guy Torres.
And we are signing off with our sultry voice outro to let you know to hit the like button.
Or don't.
Or subscribe.
Or
have
a nice day.
Or have a shitty day. It's the possibilities are endless. Thank you, guys.